awesome subscriber who comments on every one of my videos, Dafa Wiratama. Now I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but knowing my record on pronunciation of all words, probably not. He said, last week, what? No love for fixed blades? Now, I have reviewed quite a few fixed blades, but I get what he meant. Any not named SE. Advanced SE bro. So how about something different? The Pakistan-based Moschus Blades sent me one of their badass Tanto fixed blades for review. So let's take a look at this beast by going over the dimensions like the overall length and weight, with and without that sheath, the blade size and the cutting edge, the handle size, the grip area, spine thickness and handle thickness, and the tallest part of the blade. Now this particular Moschus, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, knife features a big Tanto blade style made from D2 steel with a very slight hollow edge grind for the main cutting edge and a flat grind for the secondary edge that goes to the tip. At least, yeah, it's a very slight hollow. It curves inward a little bit, it looks like, from the satin finish, I can tell. Anyway, Tanto blades are generally known for several useful things other than keeping cold steel in business, like their thickness all the way to the tip, their ability to pierce the armor of a samurai opponent, and the ability to make other knives look punier and less tactical by comparison. But I just use it for yard work. This knife is no exception with its thick blade stock and one of the few fixed blades I have that's significantly more blade heavy than handle heavy. Most of my fixed blades have a center of gravity near the front of the handle or the whole handle, which is a little, I don't really like that much. But there's more real estate up front with its 6-inch-ish cutting edge. The blade was nice and very sharp out of the box and maintained its sharpness throughout my several days of beating on it in the yard. Let's look at the handle, which is nice and comfortable, with rounded and polished micarta handle scales. Think kinda slick. It fits my hand very nicely, and the curve, the little peak in the center of the underside of the grip area, fits my hand too. And since the handle is smooth, the rear kion and the curved ricasso, which acts as a front kion, keep the knife from leaving my hand when chopping. The tang of the blade has some grooves up top that are filled with what looks like wood for a little bit of flair. And nowhere on this blade will you find any jimping. Nowhere. My hands aren't small, but it might be noted if you have very large hands, the handle might become too small, which is why I include the handle grip area measurement. Now, since they are a custom knife maker, they can probably accommodate larger hands if you just ask them. The sheath. The black leather sheath is probably the nicest leather sheath on all of my fixed blades. It's made from a very thick leather that's stitched and riveted. You can either dangle it from your belt or use the leather loops for something that's MOLLE compatible, which are also made from thick leather like the rest of the sheath. Pretty impressive. The knife is held in the sheath by friction and the tightness of the leather, so if you're on a tactical mission climbing rock walls or climbing on the ceiling, there isn't a loop to keep the knife in its holster. It's not like it's a loose fit, but the knife is heavy, so keep that in mind if you are sometimes not upright. I might prefer the sheath to dangle a little lower, but it's a good balance between too low and too high. Here is the Moschus sheath compared to the SE6HM leather sheath. And a truck going by. By the way, the SE6HM sheath and this are both swappable between knives and sheaths. Each knife fits in the respective sheath of the other knife sheath. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. The SE sheath is nice, but you'll notice the much thicker leather on the Moschus sheath. Now, the knife comes with a lifetime warranty that states intentional misuse of the knife will void the warranty. Now, I wonder where batoning falls. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Tanto blades by design are overbuilt. They are a little overbuilt maybe for the modern world and regular fixed blade use, and there are a few non-medieval reasons why one would need a thick Tanto blade, except for, stabbing sheet metal, which might come in handy when the robots attack, but may not fall in the warranty of the knife, so I don't know. And I'm sure there's a special place in hell for the soul of an individual who tries to file a warranty claim with a knife maker because he broke his blade stabbing through a car door. or a robot. As far as actual use goes, the blade has the right amount of weight for a chopper in the blade area, at least for me. But as always, a hand axe or a big-ass machete may work a little bit better for chopping. I mean, I chop, but that doesn't mean you should chop, or I guess really me either. I have to break down rotted wood pretty small for my chimney, so I've been using it for yard work. Repeated pummeling of wood does make me realize the handle is just big enough for my hand, so a good hard whack on some non-rotten wood means your hand doesn't have much room to slip without your pinky hitting the butt of the knife or my front finger pressing against the ricasso. It's not sharp, but like any metal edge, it can make your tender hands a bit more tender by repeatedly chopping solid material like some asshole on YouTube. Oh, sorry. Now occasionally I'll get some comments about my cussing, but it's my sincere hope that a person who stumbles across and clicks on a video of a knife that looks like a murder weapon's line of decency isn't someone cussing. So while we beat it, let's talk about Moschus blades for a minute. They're a small custom knife company based in Pakistan. They make many beautiful handmade fixed blades and can do custom orders too. This knife retails for about $80-ish, when compared to my other knives like the Esses, which are $160 to $200 for $10.95 or whatever they are. That actually makes a lot of sense. They have a ton of other knives available too, some a little more like the Essie styling if you're not into the Tanto look. I'll link their Instagram feed in the video description as well as their Facebook page. Message them if you're interested in a particular blade or the price of the blade and what shipping is to your country. And if you're one of those people watching knife videos on YouTube and are like, I don't do Instagram or Facebook, what the hell's wrong with you? So the finishing and the grinds on the knife are pretty good. I wouldn't say perfection if you're one of those dudes who uses a magnifying glass to determine the luster of the satin finish is even throughout the entire blade. But it's pretty good. And if you're a person who thinks a good custom fixed blade for $80 in D2 is a pretty good deal, and you use your knives more than stare at them, this knife is a very solid buy. And it was still very sharp after all the beatings, like I mentioned earlier. No edge rolling or chipping or anything like that. Well, I think there was one tiny little ding in the blade, but that's because under my chimney there's bricks and occasionally I drop things. So let's take a look at a few other large fixed blades so you can get a good idea what you're getting here. Here's the SE6, a very similar sized, lighter knife because of its thinner blade stock. The SE6 is a bit better at finer tasks like wood shavings, but not by a whole lot. But the lack of a front keyon or ricasso that does anything keeps me from using this knife because my finger tends to dig into the edge of the blade, which kind of sucks. Neither the Essie or the Moschus are great at feather sticks anyway. For that, you want a thinner blade stock and something like a Scandinavian grind, like, I don't know, say this Mora Cansbull, or you can always use a companion too, which don't look nearly as badass and they're quite a bit smaller, but maybe a little more practical than some of the bigger blades here for most things. And then there's also the Schrade SCHF 52. It's heavier and cheaper. The sheath on this is kind of crappy, but it has a long, heavy handle. I don't use it a whole lot. I mean, I should, but I don't. And then back to the Moschus for a second. I actually like this for batoning and beating up my yard waste. The blade's heavy, it batons very nicely. I don't know, some people have a dedicated batoning knife, and this is wonderful for that. So if you like this review, subscribe to my channel, like the video, follow me, and follow Moschus Blades on Instagram and Facebook. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching Advanced Knife Bros.